tell that cat that he is adorable.
Okay,
Get fucked,
I'm ready.
Stephen.
Caesar, you're adorable. Vin says you're adorable. Well, he put in,
Perfectly
like, the cutest
balanced, as all
gesture.
things should be.
I see no god up here other than me.
Folks, D&D, it's time for us to play. I am
Yeah.
excited to play some D&D with you all. I am in a I will not say good. I will say I'm in an acceptable mood today. And so I will throw this out there. I did get a new job finally after literally months of looking.
Oh, did you actually get that job?
No, I sure didn't. Sad day.
Oh.
I didn't get the sales manager position. I got a job as the associate economics department in Walmart, which is a pretty easy job that pays like a considerable amount compared to most Walmart jobs.
Yeah.
But my schedule is unpredictable. I will know my schedule, however, a month in advance at all times.
Okay.
So I don't know how often I will be working Friday nights, or for that matter, since we got the Monday squad here, Monday nights.
The Monday squad.
But I will try to keep you all posted and informed, and we might have to skip some weeks. We might not have to. We'll just have to kind of take it as it comes, if that's okay with you guys. So just
It is
warning
not
you about
okay
that.
that you're getting your life together and doing things that better yourself.
Unacceptable. Listen, I really wanted the sales manager position because it paid an equivalent of $16 an hour, and it ended every day at 7 o'clock. Every weekday, 7 o'clock. So I could just make D&D at 8 every weekday, you know? Just fuck. And it paid $16 an hour. This Walmart job
Plus
pays
commissions.
$12.30. No, that's they don't pay commissions. They do company bonuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a job.
It is a job. It is a job.
And
So
it's a job in this economy, which is like
like bottom of the barrel economy right now. So
As someone who's been trying to get a job, I am jelly.
yeah,
I am not even looking at jobs right now. I'm just existing off of my savings until some things make a bounce back.
I did that and I had some fucking problems, but you do you, man. I will say the strategy that I used to find this job, and pretty much any other job offers that I've had 6 interviews in the last week. And the strategy I started doing, I went to Google Maps and I went to the business district of a city that I wanted to work in, and I just wrote down the name of every business that looked appealing, and I just started calling them and being like, hey, do you guys have a position open I can apply for?
No, hey,
it fucking worked great. I was like, okay, well, everyone always told me to never call businesses for that shit. No, fuck that, call them. It works.
No, 100%. I don't know who told you not to.
Today
D&D time. Folks, where we last left off on AshWinter.
AshWinter Z.
AshWinter Ball Z. If you think about it, Dragon Ball Z just spells Dragon Balls. But anyway,
I'll never look at that logo the same way again.
It really does. Just throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. All right. So the last time that we played, you guys had fought Sariel, who was the eldest Aboleth, the leader of the Abolethic sovereignty, and virtually a demigod in his own right. Really a kind of this mysterious entity who's been mostly playing around with strings behind the scenes. Demi bitch is more like it. I would say that's accurate, because you guys fucking shat on that dude. Like, I really expected a death, but no, you guys really level 20 characters. You can do a lot. You're practically gods.
I mean, Lili is basically a god.
All of you are. You can turn into a fire elemental with a thought. Like, it's not, you don't even have to make motions to do it. You just become one. Oh god. Yeah, and Oz is pretty much just a god right now. Like,
I mean, Oz is a god. He has a literal religion based around him.
Technically speaking, that does make him, at least at the bare minimum, a demigod. Seraph, practically a god, commander of a bunch of Valkyries. You guys are pretty impressive, and you showed that last session as you demolished a CR30 Aboleth, just put it in the dumpster and let it sit there and rot. Along with his companions who didn't even really get a turn. However, This left you in a precarious position, as you are now in the city of Xiphu, which is the Aboleth sovereignty's headquarters. This massive obelisk far off the shores of Hillsfar, in the middle of the Sea of Fallen Stars. This city has quite a history to it, and one that is legendary in scope. If you were to cast legend lore on this, you would get a ton of information regarding Xiphu. However, you may have caused some problems, as now Xiphu seems to be crumbling around you. The destruction of its eldest, and also the banishment of the Attribution, which was potentially responsible for much of the flow of energy within this structure, has led to the collapse of the structural integrity of this area, and now the city, the tower, is crumbling around you. And what are you guys doing?
We should probably get out of here. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No?
What?
Are you forgetting about the people that are fucking paralyzed? That are still alive?
Well, I thought we killed them last session.
I think she's talking about the captives that they've taken from Hillsfar.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
We gotta be good people.
Oh my
Right.
god!
In Ignan, I say, I come here, I kill things, I don't know what you want.
Gather up the people and see what else you can find before this damn thing collapses. Lili, how much energy do you have?
To help the people?
How much energy do I have?
How much energy do you have?
Please hold.
I like to imagine Oz is just like fucking hacking apart Sariel, just like, I'm gonna take this and take this.
Hey, can you get my arrows while you're at it, Oz? Yeah, that'd be great, man.
Well, we got his head and his body's gone. Remember?
Yeah,
So
that's
you
true.
want me to talk to him?
No, not right now. Talk to him later. I'm saying, how much energy do you have so we can try and gather everyone up?
Really
And-
quiet.
Well,
I have her turned up to 200%, so.
hey, sweetheart. They can hear me through your mic. That's why I'm not speaking loud.
Oh, here, I'll turn my gain is pretty high. Here you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
I keep hearing myself in the echo, and I'm like, fuck. I can't think.
Alright, there you go.
Gather everybody. I can cast teleportation circle, and maybe with enough energy that we can pull out of each other, we might be able to get them all out.
Do we know where they're at?
Stares at the pile of bodies. Pretty sure those are alive.
There are some bodies in this room. As you look around, there are a few. You also know that there was a room of dead bodies that you had exited earlier. So there are some bodies in this room that are still breathing, and you're not sure if there's anybody left living in the pile of dead bodies in the room that you had left.
Okay. Would Tremor Sense, if they're living, would Tremor Sense be able to? It would be able to kind of pick up on their breathing because their body would technically move during that, right?
I'll allow it. I'll say that gives you a perception check.
Okay.
It'll be very faint and very hard to sense, but it is technically possible. So sure, I think that's a valid argument.
Yeah. So I'll go back to the room with the dead bodies and start trying to sort through those.
I'm gonna go with you.
I guess I'll also go because medicine and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rest of you are kind of backtracking back to the room with all of the dead bodies. That does put you near the entrance that you came in as well. Split the party. Are we splitting the party?
I mean, actually, can I?
So let me give you a better idea of the layout. So whenever you entered, you came into a large, almost hangar-like area, really. Like imagine the hangars in Star Wars. It's a bit like that, but made out of like stone and also kind of like weird fleshy stuff. You went through a long corridor at the very back of that before you got to before you got to the back of the room, with the, what is the thing called? The Morden Snare. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. With the Morden Snare. And then you also kind of proceeded through into the Shoggoth room. And then from there, you went down a series of hallways that kind of split in different places, but eventually found yourself into this room. So there's basically like 4 chambers there.
I tell Groen what to look for in terms of signs of paralyzed people being alive.
Okay. I will say that gives you advantage on your check. You're basically
I'm
using
not
the-
I
going
have
to look them though.
I have
Okay.
proficiency in medicine too, so
Cool.
I would know
Cool.
what
Cool.
to
Cool.
look for.
Okay.
I confirm that we are looking for the same thing.
Yeah. You just kind of get a little bounce back on Lili. Like, is this how this works? Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So you're backtracking. Is everyone backtracking? Who is all going back to basically the entrance, because that's where the most of the bodies were piled up.
I'm going to stay here and see if I can't stabilize the structure a bit.
I think
Okay.
it's just Oz and Groen going back to the entrance.
I was gonna
Gotcha.
help people and look for things as we.
Yeah, and
gather
there are
people.
some paralyzed people in here, and most of them are alive. You anticipate just seeing like what the Aboleth has done to some of these humanoid creatures. These are probably not sacrifices to the Atropult. These are probably being converted into slaves, more or less. So,
Yeah.
all right, Oz and Groen, you begin backtracking, and it will take you a couple of minutes. Now, the structure right now is kind of starting to shake, and you can see where walls are splitting in various locations. You're not positive how long you have before it's time to go, but making your way back through this area, you're kind of running down as the ceiling is collapsing above you. You quickly dodge one really obvious piece of support column that comes through the ceiling. However, another one crashes down directly after that, right in front of you. I'm gonna need both of you to roll me a dexterity saving.
And
over here,
question,
too.
can I spend any of my magic to try and stabilize the structure?
How would you do that?
Well, I was thinking of infusing it with like I don't know. Is the structure living?
It is not. No.
Okay. I was thinking of like using Temple of the Gods
Mm-hmm.
to like
Create like a support column or something.
create support columns and stuff.
You don't know much about architecture, especially not architecture that's alien, but you can
could argue
really...
I'm no bit because aberrations.
Before we leave,
Mhm.
The ceiling's like 60 feet tall, right?
in this area, yes. In the hallway, it
And-
goes down to like 30.
So I'm gonna use Bones of the Earth to create a support structure to
Interesting.
kind of
Okay.
create like an area of safety.
Okay. You use Bones of the Earth, and you can see that there are a significant number of places that are crumbling around it. You think you're on the right track with this, and maybe just a little bit more might be able to stabilize at least the room that you're in right now, partially. You can't necessarily stabilize the room under you, though. You are high up in the tower.
I will also use Stone Shape to kind of make the pillars more suitable.
Okay. So you like go ahead and mark off those spells. You use Bones of the Earth, and Lili, you're like looking at the Temple of the Gods, and you're kind of muttering out loud, and then Groen does this, and you watch. It's a similar idea to what you had, but a little bit more practical, as the Bones of the Earth split upwards and hit the ceiling. Groen uses Stone Shape to also smooth out the top, so it creates this wide support structure at the very top of it, which is
Well,
not perfect, but you think you could possibly help improve it with some of your ideas. It creates a baseline for you to actually work from, more or less.
I get to shape my Temple of the Gods, right?
Mm-hmm. You get to shape it to an extent. Temple of the Gods. Okay, can you find in that where it says how big the temple is itself? And
up to 120 feet on each side.
Interesting. So it could be 120 feet tall.
Yeah.
Okay, and it does say
And
up there.
an occupied cube, yeah.
Okay, yeah. You basically, between you and Groen, I will say that you managed to stabilize the room that you were in. You are not confident of the floor, but Temple of the Gods does not move. So at the bare minimum, the entrance to the temple has this like little lip. No matter if everything crumbles around you, that's going to stay where it is right now.
Yeah, I start moving all the people inside the temple as well.
Gotcha. Okay, you start kind of grabbing people and moving them. They're covered in this thick mucus at this point, and you're fairly confident you know what this is. This is an Aboleth mucus, and it is highly toxic, and it can turn you into those creatures that you saw earlier. They're weird, translucent alien.
Okay, gonna start getting that shit off of them too.
Yeah. So you start quickly curing them. You know that more than likely they're already infected, and it will take like greater restoration spells or something, or maybe lesser restorations to help. But you also know that they have at least 24 hours before it sets in. Groen and Oz, as you proceed down this hallway, like I said, the column kind of crashes in front of you. Oz, you roll forward really quickly, and then you see another column just crash straight through the wall. Groen, you are in Earth Elemental form right now.
Yep. I'm hoping that helps.
Well, I would say it gives you advantage because it's stone that's crashing into you. But it's
I get to meld into stone though.
You have to think about that though, and your reaction. This is kind of your reaction time here. Okay. What's your intelligence saving throw modifier?
That's the Groen sheet. Intelligence saving throw modifier is a 6.
Is it +6? Okay, then I would say that given that this is more you thinking about doing it, it's your mental reaction time rather than your physical. I would say this could be an intelligence saving throw for you, which would put you to an 18. Okay. That is a success. Oz, however, at a 13. No, wait, you're a barbarian. You have advantage on dex saves, don't you?
I also have advantage on dex saves because I'm Oz.
Okay. Yeah. So as you see this coming, you hear Ein just go, oh shit, as you just turn around and heft him, and Ein turns into this massive metal rod, and you stop the fucking pillar in place. Groen, you just meld straight through it. You would have ran straight into the pillar. It would have probably hurt considerably. You just meld straight through it. However, Oz, you are now like holding this pillar in place, and you manage to kind of angle it so that it doesn't hit you or Groen with your fucking shield. As you continue through this area, a huge gap opens up in front of both of you. You're not fully confident that you could make it on foot. You would have to roll an athletics check in order to do so.
No.
Or acrobatics, either one.
No.
Okay, yeah, you just take a few steps backwards as it opens up, and you just leap over this 20-foot wide chasm. No problems whatsoever. As you just kind of tumble and roll on the other side.
Can I be an air element and just hover across?
You have a bonus action. You could totally do that.
Yeah.
You just become an air elemental and just float straight across this chasm. Just in the span of half a second, really. Bonus actions are super fast. So, you're
on the other
Earth
side of note, I become Earth Elemental again.
Okay, you go right back to Earth Elemental. So you dive off into the chasm for a moment as an Earth Elemental, and your form shifts mid-air to become Air Elemental. You just glide over this thing like a cloud, and the second that you get to the other side, you're Earth Elemental again, and you both kick off running, just nonstop. You make it all the way through the Shoggoth room, where you see actually one of the eggs left behind has now fallen, and a Shoggoth. I need you both to make a Wisdom saving.
As a note, you both have advantage on this.
Yeah, Hero's Feast is still.
Thank God.
Oz, you turn around and you see this thing. And
you have the Indomitable.
He has. I think you have one more.
I do have Indomitable.
Oh no!
Not great.
Even worse.
You turn around and you see this Shoggoth now crawling towards you, and you just feel kind of compelled to walk towards it, and you want to kill this thing. It needs to, but you forgot what you were doing. It's just this thing is now so important, and you just start focusing on it, and you start running towards it with your axe drawn. What are the slams for?
They're gonna hit Oz to get him out of it.
Okay, you just like shoulder check Oz, turn around, CMC stop, and you shoulder check Oz. Oz, roll me another wisdom saving throw with advantage, of course.
Come on, buddy.
Okay, yep, that's good enough. As you start running towards this thing, Groen just kind of shoulder checks you like a rugby player, and you skid to the ground for a second, get up ready to chop the fuck out of whoever just hits you. See it's Groen and realize what was going on, and the both of you just turn around and start running again. The Shoggoth left behind as it's not quite fast enough to keep up with you. You eventually make it back to the large open hangar room, and you see that there are dozens and dozens of bodies, maybe even hundreds in here. The ceiling is collapsing in on itself. The entrance has already started kind of crumpling down as the tower, it looks, now that you can kind of see the outside wall, it looks like the tower has snapped in half at a point and is now toppling on itself.
No, I'm good.
Groen,
Okay.
you can roll me a perception check with advantage because of your tremor sense, to check for
Okay.
people breathing or moving, trying to do anything whatsoever. 22, not bad. There is one individual in this room that you can pinpoint. There's a pile of bodies off to the east portion of this room, and you quickly rush over there, you and Oz. Oz, you turn around as Groen's like digging this guy out. There is this large, strange, kind of wavy balloon-like creature just rushing towards you, just flying towards you as fast as it can. And it is going to go ahead and it's going to make some attacks against you. I don't know where cheat is, but I know it has a +8 to attacks. So that is a 10. That is an 18. And that is a 23. Do any of those hit?
That is a negative.
Level 20 characters. God damn.
Actually,
All right.
actually, that third one does hit. My armor class is 23.
Okay. So, still, only one of these hits. That's not that bad. As this kind of weird, wavy pink blob wraps itself around you, it tries to crush you. You are only going to take, what is this? It is 2. Yeah, okay. So you're going to take 2 points. You're going to take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, and then you get to take, that is it's 11, and that is 8, and then that's a +2, so
When
that is
the
10.
DM keeps rolling.
That is
starts rolling,
21.
Keeps rolling. It's at a calculator.
You're going to take 21 points of psychic damage as well. So 2 points of not crushing, bludgeoning, and then 21 points of psychic.
But yeah, I'm not worried about that. That's fine.
Yep. As it's just crushing itself around, it just starts squeezing you. Groen, you're like digging this person out. Groen, go ahead and make me a dexterity check, please.
Of note, if I'm digging them out, I'm actual Groen then, because I'm imagining the Earth Elemental's hands are not good at that.
Yeah, the Earth Elemental's hands are bigger than my head, so
yeah. Dexterity check
Could
or
be a water
dexterity
elemental and
save?
push the-
dexterity check.
Okay.
How are you handling this attack?
How do I handle every situation?
I'm pretty sure you're gonna smack it a couple times.
That is correct.
Oh my god. yeah. No, stop. It's cease. 26, 36, and 35. For reference, this thing has 14 AC. All of those hit. Oh my god. So that is
59.
I don't even have to do math. This thing has 30 health. It's dead. As it kind of rushes towards you, it manages to get a grapple on you really quickly and crushes. And while the crush doesn't really do anything to you, it does seem to have some kind of like psychic effect. And you just kind of just like take your sword and push it up into the eyeball and just push outwards. And this thing just basically explodes into some pink mist. As demolish this fucking little seeker. It is gone. Groen, you with your 12 dexterity check, you're having a little bit of trouble getting these bodies off. There are piles of bodies on this person. This person's vitals are low. You could feel with your tremor sense, and they probably don't have a lot of time left. Maybe seconds.
Oz, help.
Can I do a perception check? See if there's any more enemies around?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a quick perception check. God, I forgot you have like expertise or something now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 32. They're all floating outside the tower though. They are directly outside this kind of hangar thing. None of them are looking at you at all. They are all watching the tower collapse in horror. The horrors are experiencing horror.
All right, cool. Dex to help ground.
Dex check. You can also do strength if you would like.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah, a fucking 29. Of course you crit on this. So while Groen's like lifting, there's like an orc that's just dead over this group, and Groen, you just cannot lift this guy. You can't move around him. You're trying to like dig bodies out from under him. He's just stuck. Oz just comes up with the whole orc over his head and just like dumps him behind his back.
I like to imagine he's like one arm, lifting it in the air, like doing press ups. While pulling the other one off.
Exactly. And between the two of you, you manage to find this one person. They are still paralyzed, but you can see they're still breathing. As you kind of lift them out, this one's not covered in any kind of mucus. It just seems that they have survived whatever calamity befell the rest of people. However, the rest of them died. They did not. They are just paralyzed. As you lift them out, kind of digging them out of there, you can just see that they're trying to respond, trying to talk. Their vitals are really low. They are seriously injured, and they probably only have maybe anywhere from a couple seconds to a couple minutes to live. Okay, healing spirit. Okay, healing spirit can actually heal 16 times. So if you would roll another 13d.
Roll 13d6.
Yeah.
52 points of health.
This person had 10 feet, so they are full. As you kind of just dump a healing spirit on top of this person, and they're still paralyzed, but you can tell their vitals immediately restore back to normal. Their heartbeat is now through the roof. You can feel it just holding them without tremor sense. They are in fight or flight mode, and you now have them safe. Oz, with your perception check, there is another creature rapidly headed towards the two of you. You don't recognize what this is. It looks like a Shoggoth, but it is not. It is something completely different. It has this like orange, red, pink, fleshy material, and it's just like grabbing with these long tendrils, pulling itself along the floor of this. It's actually got several bodies kind of tied up inside of its flesh, and it's headed straight towards you rather quickly. It's pretty fast.
I'm assuming.
Cool. Oz takes a second, tells Groen to get that guy out of here, and then I would like to ready an action with Black Razor to baseball swing at this thing as soon as it's within reach.
Okay, perfect. Groen, you get the information.
I say to the guy, trust me, hold on, go Earth Elemental, pick him up, and I start just booking it.
Okay, you just start booking it through this area. Great. We will go ahead and get back to you in a second then. Oz, as this creature rushes towards you, it's moving probably 130 to 140 feet around. It's fast as fuck. And it closes the distance between you in seconds. You don't know what this thing is. It is fucking huge. As it towers over you, several mouths appear, and you hear these whispers kind of chanting around you. Go ahead and make your attack.
Do I see this happening? Because
yeah, you probably would. Whoa, no. Yeah, you would definitely see this happen. For reference, this thing has 15 AC, so anytime you roll higher than a 15, just go ahead and roll damage.
Wait, so he can't miss it because he has a plus 18 to the roll.
That is, he can miss it with a natural one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the only way he could. All right. Yeah, that definitely hits. You get your other attacks. You held an attack action.
True. Let me swing these.
That is a rule that we use. Okay, perfect. Go ahead and roll damage on those.
Let's see, so that's what, 29, 31, 34, 36.
Okay. As you just kind of swing into this creature, you chop it straight into, and one of the halves falls over, rolls over on itself, and kind of almost seems to form its own shape. And then they join back together, and a massive mouth appears in the center, and it's going to go ahead and make a bite attack against you.
That's not good.
That is 19 plus 12. I think that hits anyway.
Fuck.
Yeah. Almost a natural 20. So yeah, that's going to go ahead and hit, and you're going to take... I don't have that many... Hold on. I have 3d10. I do. Haha!
I don't have that many dice. Fuck.
That is 10, that is 7, and that is 9, which is 16, 26, plus 6. 26 plus 6 is 32. You're going to take 32 points of piercing damage. This is physical. I don't know if you have resistance to that or not. But you're going to take 32 points of piercing damage as this thing just catches onto you. Its mouth is as big as you are. And you try to get out of the way of it, but it catches your shoulder. And as soon as it catches you, you can tell it's kind of like a little stranged out. It's not really sure what it's biting at this point as the metal arm kind of it prevents it from really sinking into flesh.
How hurt is Oz? I know this at all times.
I think he's
Oz
at...
is...
Go ahead.
Let's see here. 1 second. Let me crunch those numbers right quick.
You've taken 32 and 21.
Yeah, on a scale of 204, I'm at about 128.
Yep.
Okay. Seeing this
I'm going to
happen...
communicate telepathically with Oz and ask, is Groen leaving with the people?
Person, and we don't know yet.
As...
Okay,
Sorry.
growing.
As I see that happen, I set him down, the gentleman. Is it a gentleman, lady? I don't know.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Gentleman, I set him down. 1 second, back as growing. I go sprinting back. I use shape change on myself. With pack tactics, shape change also affects Oz. We become white dragons, and we're gonna kill this fucker. and
Do you have another shape change?
Yeah, because we have one level. I have one level 9. Remember, because we had the rest, so I got a spell slot back.
Oh man. Okay. Cool.
Wait,
That's right. You had a short rest.
Yeah.
Groen's Vala gives Groen a spell slot back on short rest. It can be a 9th level too.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so he got his shape change back. I forgot about that. Okay, yeah, so you both become white dragons. Holy shit, nice. And you can both roll... Ooh, excuse me. You can both roll off of the white dragon sheet from here as you go to attack this creature. It is formidable. You can tell whatever this thing is, it is kind of like Shoggoth plus. However, as it bites down on Oz, he suddenly becomes a white dragon and the thing's mouth just breaks apart. I mean, just snaps open, only to reform a moment later. And the two of you go to it. So I will say, Groen, that is your action this turn. We're going in kind of a pseudo initiative here. It's going to go Groen, Oz, creature, building. And then Groen, Oz, creature, Lili, building. There we go. And so Groen, that is your action. Oz, it is your turn.
Yeah, okay. Now that I'm a big dragon boy.
Yeah, you just erupt. Your shape totally changes into this fucking massive dragon. You fill half the chamber. Like, between you and Groen, half the chamber is full. Yeah, just exhaling. So that is a dexterity saving? No, it's a constitution saving throw. Okay. This thing is pretty decent at... It's not when it rolls a 1. All right, that's a failure. So roll me 16d8 damage, please. 65 points of damage. Thing, and it is cold damage. It's not resistant to cold. As the ice starts to cover it, it does manage to it does manage to still keep standing. However, you have significantly whatever it is. It is going to go ahead and use its reaction to make an attack against you since you did damage to you. That is also a natural one. 2 ones in a row. All right, nope. This thing, as it goes to bite you, you just kind of like with your snout, just knock it to the side, and it doesn't manage to land anything. So that was Oz. Creature is next. It's gonna
Oz's turn. I'm gonna make a tail attack using
That's
a
right.
legendary action.
Okay, go ahead and do that. 23 hits, 15 AC.
15 bludgeoning damage.
1 second.
Can legendary actions from multiple creatures happen at the end of legendary actions from other creatures?
Yeah, because it's at the end of a turn.
That's
In
okay.
whenever multiple legendary actions happen at the end of a turn, the higher decks always happen first. But they have the same deck, so they can. All right, so 15 points of bludgeoning damage. It does have resistance to bludgeoning. That is 8 points. As you hit it, it does kind of like split apart and then reform. It seems to have resistance to physical damage. All right. At the end of your turn, Oz, it's going to go ahead and make an attack against you. Look at this, Heather.
I think you need to switch d20s.
Look at that. Look at that. That is the third nat one in a row.
Oh my great
All right,
goodness.
you're going in dice jail. You're going
Hey,
in dice jail.
Hey, you can't dice a jail. I mean, jail a dice whenever it's the creatures.
No. That thing's going in dice jail. You're going in dice jail, buddy. Holy shit. I don't think I have ever rolled 3 natural ones in a row, by the way.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
you're not dealing with. You're normally dealing with Oz and Groen.
That's true.
The dice is scared of us.
The dice is terrified of
Here
you
you
both.
go.
All right. This creature only gets 1 attack per turn, so that is the end of its turn.
Do you need another dice?
No, I've got another dice.
Okay.
I always keep a second set with me, just in case.
I have a third if you need it.
All right, so that is the end of its turn. It is now the building's turn.
End of its turn. Another tail attack.
Okay, 29 hits.
There you go. And
What's
I'm
bludgeoning damage?
do,
Hold on,
I'm gonna
math is
use
hard.
my last legendary action for another tail attack.
Okay, this thing. You can only make one, but that's
Okay.
perfectly fine.
Misunderstanding from what you had said earlier. Apologies.
Oh yeah. You each individual creature can make 1 at the end of
One
each
end of
individual
each
turn. Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes
Yep.
sense.
I will use a tail attack.
Go ahead and
There we
roll it
go.
from the the actions on the sheet.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, 23 definitely hits. I don't think you guys can miss this other than a natural one.
They cannot.
16 points of bludgeoning damage, so that's math. Hold on. No, yeah, I know that's 8, but I'm trying to add. Okay, cool. All right. The creature is bloodied at this point. As you smash it this time, the both of you kind of smash it between you, so it doesn't have anywhere to like escape to. It's like have you ever played with weird Play-Doh sand stuff?
Yeah.
It's-
Moon sand?
Yeah, moon sand. It's like moon sand. Trying to like smush it, it just kind of goes between wherever the cracks are. But you guys smush your tails together at this point and manage to clap it pretty good. It seems.
I'm imagining Pong.
Yeah, like that. You just like ping, ping, ping. However, it is bloodied at this point. It is hurt. However, it is now the building's turn. As the building starts to kind of crumble, there is a large portion of the ceiling that now falls. This is going to hit you. Groen, you do double check as this happens, all within the span of just a few seconds. It's not going to hit the dude. So the guy that you saved is fine. However, it is going to fall directly on top of both of you because you're so large. It's also going to hit the creature. I need all 3 of you to make a dexterity saving throw. This will be off the dragon sheet.
You said I get a turn, correct?
You do get a turn after before the building, yes. So what are you doing on your?
I want to cast Dispel Evil and Good through Oz.
Can you? Oh yeah, you can do that.
Yes,
Holy
I can.
What? Oh my god, that's so good. Okay.
And I think we've ruled in the past that aberrations do count. towards
They
the
do.
spell.
They do
Yeah.
because that's
So-
consistent with the other evil and good spells.
Yep. So yeah.
I need to put that in our
as
spell
your
rulings
action,
as
you
well.
touch a creature, you can reach this. Oh, sorry, wait. Dismissal
Yeah,
is your action. Make a melee spell attack against a celestial and elemental.
Oh, I know what it does. I know what it does.
Yeah.
I'm all too familiar after you used it with Zhao in the campaign.
Yo.
I also main paladins and clerics, so I used it.
Yeah, creature must succeed
It's-
on a charisma saving throw.
It is a DM killer. Charisma saving throw. Okay.
This thing's got 3 mouths. So it might be charismatic.
It has a -5. Has 1 charisma.
Oh, I don't think
He's
you
an
can
ugly boy.
succeed that. My spell save DC's 22.
It rolled. It rolled a 5. As you smash it between your tails, you hear this loud as it just disappears. You're pretty sure you just killed the stupid thing. Huh. Okay. The building's still falling though.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It is an aberration, and it is not of this plane. And you have spec'd directly into aberration slaying, basically. So,
Yeah.
like Oz is the Witcher, and Lili is playing Horizon. That's yeah. Anyway,
So does that make Lili Yennefer or Triss?
I think
I think she's more of a Triss.
she's I would say she's closer to Triss, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yen's
Yeah.
great, but I think she's Triss. Anyway, the building falls. Well, part of the building falls. I need you both to make me dexterity saving throw. Oh, you already did.
It's also not a slut.
Was Yen a slut?
Technically,
Kinda.
they're all sluts. You think about it.
As a slut.
They're
I mean,
infertile, so
wait,
they
hold
can
on.
have as much as they want.
I
That-
mean, yeah.
That doesn't
but,
make you
like,
a.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yennefer
necessarily a
used
bad
sex
thing to
to
be-
get what she
I
wanted.
would.
That's true.
Yin is like kind of. Kira Metz is very much so, but I wouldn't say Triss is.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I haven't played the video game. I have seen the series. I have watched part of the video game, and it was really cool, but I've not seen the ending, so I don't know how all that works out with Yen and Triss and all that. Anyways, 19 and 20, you both clearly succeed. As it falls down, you do get caught in some of the rubble, but you miss the big piece that would have done. Hold on. I will.
Yeah, let's say.
That would have done 110 points of bludgeoning damage. As
I'm
this-
gonna-
Hold on.
Let me
As
know-
this
sorry.
massive piece just falls down, you manage to kind of jerk back out of the way of this piece, and it just crumbles straight through the floor where you were standing as well. It's rough. However, you do take half of that damage, so you're going to take 55 points of damage. Yeah, 55 points of damage to both of you, bludgeoning.
I'm guessing as the white dragon, I don't get ability to Ain's or deflex.
You literally do, because that is part.
Then I take no damage.
Okay, you take no damage. You deflect it to the building.
It's
Yeah.
how much?
Fuck you.
Sorry?
55.
Minus 55.
Yep, minus 55.
There we
You,
go.
you deflect the
You
building.
deflect it to the building that you're standing on.
Literally, yes. You deflect the building to the building itself. God, that's such a cool ability. Anyway,
It's fucking awesome.
right? I outdid
I'm
myself
gonna-
with these weapons. What? Whoa.
Whoa.
Ego
I'm
trip.
gonna
Really
look-
did.
I'm gonna look up at this and let me know if this doesn't work. If I was
Go
to
for
use
it.
my cold breath, would it cause like ice to make like a layer? You know what I'm saying?
You might not make a full layer, but you could possibly secure a significant portion of the ceiling. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'll
With
go-
our
I'll go ahead
powers
and do that.
combined,
I
Our
would
powers combined,
I would
yeah.
say, yeah. Like, over the next, guaranteed to get your recharge back over a couple of seconds. So, as you both kind of look up to the ceiling and stop it from crumbling by just breathing ice straight down it. White dragons actually do this in caves in the lore, so it's got like lore roots here. It's canon. You breathe ice straight over this cave to stop it from, or this ceiling to stop it from caving in. And it does work. It might not hold it forever, of course. But it will hold it for a pretty significant period of time. As you now have like 7 inches of ice just holding the ceiling in place.
All right.
You do spend a couple of seconds doing this. It's not quite a minute, but it's close to it.
All right, Oz, let's get out of here.
And I go over to the guy and
Please don't be scared. You're being saved right now.
He can't understand you. Actually,
Oz
you can speak
growing.
common.
Your
I speak
K2SO
common.
is
The
showing.
dragon dork.
I forgot that fucking ancient dragons can speak common. Young and below can't speak common. So, but yeah, you say this to the guy. He kind of freaks out for a second and then like realizes what's going on. He can't really move, so he doesn't have much of a choice. Is you just kind of like pick him up and throw him on back.
Yep. And
Lili communicates telepathically with all. Everything good now, right?
Yeah, you get out of here.
Mm,
It comes back as a really well. It's telepathic. Never mind.
yeah, it's just. That's it. That's all you
Okay.
get.
Okay. So as you two proceed, are you guys flying out of the tower, or are you like running back to where everybody else is?
Oz, are we good to go back, or we need to stay here?
Do you
Or
guys like
fire.
Oz? Oz is like telepathically to Lili. Do you guys need us to come back for you?
Do you guys have a way out?
Yeah.
Oh. Then nope. See you back in Hillsfar.
All right, let's go.
All right, we're flying through the motherfuckers towards Hillsfar, I guess.
Okay. So Oz and Groen, this will be some more skill challenges.
Okay.
However, we will get to those in a second as you both dart out of the kind of like basically the hangar door of this tower, one of the hangar doors. You do dart into kind of a plethora of aberrations. You've been in this situation before, though. Long time ago, riding on dire wolves. So we'll get back to that in a second.
Oh no.
This is gonna be fun. Lili and Zuma and Spirit and Eve, you are all in this crumbling room. As it crumbles around you, you've created this large safe space thanks to Groen's bones of the earth and the stone shape above you, and also thanks to Lili's massive Temple of the Gods. I didn't realize Temple of the Gods was 120 feet wide in like reality, because like Mordenkainen's mansion is literally a door. So that's pretty great. Thanks to Temple of the Gods and the stone shape and the bones of the earth, you now have this large safe space that you can be free of the crumbling building around you. Bones of the earth will fall if the floor does. However, the Temple of the Gods will not. So you're quickly kind of gathering these people up. There's probably 30 people in the room, and over the next 2 or 3 minutes, it doesn't take you much time at all. Eve, I believe you are looking. You're searching the room itself, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. As you start searching the room, really quickly, just looking. What are you looking for specifically?
Anything of use or knowledge of what the fuck is going on, and unless I need to dive to the pool.
You really quickly begin just kind of looking for what's going on. Just information. You're searching for information really quickly. Roll me your perception check. The rest of you, if you are getting people into the building, into the Temple of the Gods, roll me a strength.
Thyra is going to help.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh god. All right. I have to roll a strength check.
Yeah, because these people, I mean, you're picking up one of me, and I'm fucking heavy, so...
Shadow
do I get
Scale's
the
gonna
spell?
help you. She's going to help chuck people in there, so...
Zuma doesn't miss leg day.
Okay.
Can I argue
don't
she
think I
gets advantage since she's big?
Oh shit.
No, she's just having to make a normal strength check.
Okay.
I accidentally
Wing
backed
day.
out of roll 20.
Fuck it. How ripped are Seraph and Zuma? I wonder. Just how muscular are you two?
I mean, I'm pretty. I mean, I hunted my entire life, so I'm pretty rugged, I guess. So
Okay.
I'd say I'm pretty.
That's 20
I think
on a scale of 1 to
Zuma-
20.
I think Zuma's like that old man strength, like farmer's strength.
God, like some
Hey, now.
fucking Master Roshi shit.
Hey, now I'm like 30 something, so
Yeah,
that's
and
pretty
as
good
an
We're
for
in
an
elf-
elf.
Middle Ages. 30-something was old age, okay?
Well, he's also an elf, which literally you're considered a child until you're 120 as an elf.
Yep.
So Zuma is literally like My Hero Academia protagonist right now. as he like is just dragging these people backwards. Zuma, yeah, you draw a heavy bow. Hold on, you draw a heavy bow. You're strong as fuck.
And
Seraph,
I'm fast
you
AF.
You were literally a fucking Valkyrie. Like, strength is not a foreign concept to you. You just pull it backwards. Lili, you're made out of spaghetti.
I am literally spaghetti. So, would I need to help with a strength check if I'm casting Lesser Restoration on people?
That is a good point. So you can save one person per Lesser Restoration as they run for the temple themselves. I would say that's valid. That is a good brain use here.
Okay, so question. Do I need to cast Lesser Restoration or Greater Restoration?
It is a disease. Lesser Restoration, I'm fairly confident cures disease.
Yes, it does.
So it is a disease. Lesser Restoration will cure it.
All right, cool. So then I'm going to be casting Lesser Restoration on people.
Fucking Seraph's bench pressing 2 people at a time. Just like, yeah, no, I got this.
If you need some ointment cream, let me know for disease.
And
how many?
Eve, what was your perception check? Where is that at?
Spell
Very
slots
top,
do I need to do to cure this, everyone?
right below.
You
the-
have 25. There are 4 people assisting here. You would need to cast Lesser Restoration, let's say probably 6 times in total to get every single person. However,
only 6? Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's probably 6 Lesser Restorations would get everybody. As Seraph and Zuma managed to pull their weight, Shadowscale pulls her weight just perfectly fine. She's a large dragon. She just kind of like picks people up and drags them.
That's 30. Okay, cool. That puts me at 64 spell points.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you manage to, like, you start dragging one person, you're like, nope, fuck that. Just immediately cast Lesser Restoration on this person. And they, oh my god, what's going on? And they turn around and look at you, and it's like this little halfling person. They still weigh a decent amount, but they're still, as you Lesser Restoration them, they look around, they're kind of bewildered for a second, realize what's going on, and then they just start making for the temple immediately. Jeff, he's struggling a little bit. He helps. He gets one person in throughout this time. Jeff's not a super strong individual. He does manage to kind of drag one person backwards. And as he's dragging them, he kind of just spouts out. He goes, Aboleths are actually considered gods by many races in the multiverse. And he just dumps one person into the thing. By the time Seraph and Zuma have already like dumped 4 or 5 people in. Eve, with your perception check, you quickly realize there's not really anything of value in the room except for the mages. And you look at one of the mages and you're fairly confident that they should have some valuable stuff on them. And not necessarily just valuable, like integral stuff on them. They were keepers of this attribute. They were assistants directly to Sariel. Why didn't you guys find anything on them to begin with? And so you start searching one of the mages. With a 22, you do find on Desiree's body there is a journal, and you open it and flick to a random page. You're like, this has to be a journal. Maybe there's something good in here. You flick to a random page and you actually see her writing down Sariel's plans, and you just slam the journal. Huh?
What'd you say? You cut out.
You actually see her. She has been writing down her interactions with Sariel, including Sariel's plans and basically what was going on in this area. You are very confident that there is a lot of information in this. And as you take this, you kind of slam the journal closed, turn around, and Lili's already gotten everybody, and Seraph and Zuma and Shadowscale and Jeff have already gotten everybody in. And there is a large piece of the ceiling that collapses above you as you are outside of the range of the Temple of the Gods here. I need you to make me a dexterity.
Step.
That'll work. That's a bonus action. Just make me a general dexterity check here.
Okay.
Or intelligence, either one.
I'm good with neither. Just a
Whichever one you want.
saving throw or a check.
A check. I'm taking the Misty Step into account here and drastically lowering the DC of this, but there is a chance for failure. Okay, at 21, no problem whatsoever. You Misty Step out of the way of this falling piece of rubble. It is falling very quickly. However, thinking quickly, reacting quickly, you manage to just port out of the way and get underneath the safety of the stone shape that Groen had left you. And you have all managed to successfully save everyone. within this area.
How many survivors?
How many are there?
Oh, there are 25.
Okay, I'm gonna
Fire
open up. I'm gonna open up a portal. You people run it through as fast as you can. I have 2 casts of it. You need to run as fast as you can and don't stop.
God, that fucking meme that you posted, Jordan. That is exactly how that guy feels. Congratulations, you are being rescued. Please do not resist.
That me.
So good. All right. As you kind of rush into the temple itself, you open a portal. You are within the temple. All of you are at this point, and you do know that this space will continue even if the space outside of it doesn't. Now, on its ending, 24 hours later, you will be ejected into possibly nothing, but at least at this point, you are safe. So you have plenty of time. Groen and Oz. Time is not something that you have a lot of right now as you eject yourselves out of this falling tower of Xiphu, this massive city. I use the term tower here a little lightly. For reference, this thing is over 2 miles tall. It is gargantuan. Tower doesn't fully describe it. Really, city is the appropriate word here. It is in the shape of a tower, but it is bigger than any tower could ever be. It is Mount Everest sized. And as it's toppling over, it is like a mountain being split in two. You can't hear practically anything from the noise this thing is making as it crumbles in on itself. It is the equivalent of a bomb going off in front of you, basically. The debris is shattering outwards. Many aberrations. You watch one aberration just get speared by this long thing of stone and just disappear into the waves below. You're over the Sea of Falling Stars, which is a rather large body of water. Don't look at explosions. As you both fly out of this at great speeds. Dragons are really fast. I think you guys can go 160 feet around.
Movement speed is 80 fly.
Yeah, so with a dash you could go 100 and 160 around. And Oz, you're a rogue, and you retain your class features with shape change. So you could go even faster than that. What is that? What is 80 times 3? That is 240 feet around. So Oz can book it. You're pretty quick. However, as you eject yourselves out into this practically a stampede of aberrations that are evacuating the tower, you are met with a number of obstacles in front of you, and one large floating Aboleth does try to take a swing at you. It is going to go ahead and roll an attack against you. This is going to be against Oz specifically. Where's my d20? There it is.
Hold on.
Yes,
Do I see it swinging at me?
you do.
Can I drop the polymorph?
Don't you
Yeah,
do this?
I think we ruled that you can. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I think
he
we
did
ruled-
because he Goomba stomped somebody on the way.
Yeah. We ruled that you most certainly can drop the shape change if you want.
Yeah. I'm going to be at max speed and drop the concentration on this while flying directly at this thing.
Okay, all right. So then we get into like conservation of momentum. If Ara was here, Ara would be like, "Let's talk about physics."
Let's not say we did.
I will say physics is king here, and I'll just roll me a general, just a general attack roll with whatever you want, whatever weapon.
Okay.
Of note, I'm using my reaction to catch him out of midair.
I
Once
mean,
he
even
does-
if Oz hit the water, he wouldn't. Like, Oz doesn't have to breathe, so he's fine if he goes underwater.
You will take damage if you hit the water.
you
I
will
will tell
take
you
the
that.
falling damage.
Yeah. Yeah, it would hurt.
Oz, can you roll damage on that attack, please? And then can you roll it 3 more times?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say that you had advantage on this because the Aboleth was not really dropping concentration happens virtually instantly. It happens in under a second, and so you went from Ancient White Dragon that it was swinging at to humanoid with sword in the span of half of a second, and you are traveling at 240 feet every 6 seconds. Now, the speed of sound, okay, is a little bit slower than that. You literally break the sound barrier whenever you exit. Whenever you exit shape change. As you break the sound barrier, there's this shockwave behind you. As you plunge through the Aboleth, heading at like Mach 2 into the water below. The Aboleth, you are effectively a human-sized bullet when you do this. I don't know if you've ever watched railgun tests. When they hit the target, there's typically not a target left.
Yeah.
Something similar happens here. You're actually going to take just a little bit of damage from this, just because of the sheer force you slam into this guy with. Let's say we'll say 2d8. Sure. So you take 6 points of damage as you slam into this guy just from the sheer physical impact of this. It's like hitting a wall.
How much damage was it? Sorry.
6 points of damage. Yeah, it's not much. However, you are now plummeting towards the water faster than the sound barrier. The Aboleth is disintegrated. There was never an Aboleth there to begin with. You have erased it from. The water, however, is a problem. Groen, can you roll a Dex saving throw, please?
I can from the Dex
from the dragon sheet.
From the dragon sheet. There you go.
19. You swoop in and snatch Oz out of the air. The impact between you and the Oz will do some damage to both of you. I'll say, we'll improvise here. We'll say 2d12.
You just said between you and the Oz.
And the Oz. That is what I'm calling you now. I meant Oz and the dragon, but fuck it. I don't care. It's the Oz now. So you'll both take 11 points of damage as you kind of like get a little whiplash from catching Oz. And Oz, you get like you just stopped from Mach 2 to stopping. Your brain's practically out of your nose now. You don't have a brain, but if you did, it would be there. But yeah, you managed to save Oz from hitting the water. So as you kind of carry Oz off, there is no Aboleth. Oz, roll me an intimidation check, please.
You got it.
I'm using my wing, so I think I get an intimidation check as well.
Give advantage to.
Oh, that's
okay, you roll your own intimidation check.
So they just everybody makes they make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh yeah, your frightful presence. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, I will just roll a general wisdom saving throw for all the aberrations around you, and I will say that collectively they have a +2. Look at it! Look at this! Look at that!
You just did another nat one. Oh god.
That is a 3.
Are you Will Wheaton or something?
I don't know. Something fucking no, because I'm not transparent. Anyway, what? So
that is a failure.
I figured a 3 probably fails on an ancient white dragon's fearful presence. Yes.
And they are all frightened.
They are all frightened, and none of them can willingly move closer to you, and they do not. They give you the widest berth possible as you soar like a motherfucking eagle with its fresh catch out of this place, straight back towards Hillsfar. You actually do not get assaulted again. There were like 6 or 7 more checks here, but they avoid the fuck out of you after that. Oz just disintegrated an Aboleth, and you caught him out of the air when he was going faster than the sound barrier. They don't want any part of either of you, and they avoid you.
It's a solid call.
Oz and Groen, best team. Yes, best team.
Holy shit. As you both make your way back towards Hillsfar, and Lili and the gang are now concealed within the Temple of the Gods with the door shut. You don't even hear the crumbling tower around you. The aberrations, they start as you're like flying away from Xiphu back towards far. You kind of chance a glance back towards you, and it's bizarre. most of the aberrations that were just there a moment ago aren't, and you start seeing several of them wink out of existence as Xiphu crumbles. Their anchor to this world destroyed. You arrive safely back on the Hillsfar docks, instead of depositing on your saved friend here. There are a number of Hillsfar guards who rush towards you carefully and cautiously. There are also a number of mages. You don't recognize these mages, but you do recognize their colors. These are mages of the Lord's Alliance. They're kind of like first responders to extremely dangerous crises that rush towards you. Initially very hostile, and then realize kind of what's happening and back off just a little bit as they you're probably a friendly white dragon. One of them kind of approaches you and pushes back his kind of silky hairy. There was a disturbance, and he looks to the crumblings. It seems that you have. He licks his lips and is just like watching this 2 mile tall tower crumble in on itself. Solve the problem?
I set the guy down.
He's hurt. Can you please heal him? He can't move.
Paralyzation. Do we have any priests? And eventually, one person stepped forward. I'm a priest. Yes. But can you heal this man? And the man kind of kneels down and casts Lesser Restoration, curing the paralysis. And oh man, that was a crazy ride.
Sorry about that.
Oh shit! I'm gonna tell my grandchild that one.
Gonna tell my grandchild that one.
That is literally like one of the fables that gets passed down like through the ages.
Yeah.
Through his bloodline.
Yep. One day your great grandfather was rescued by a white dragon out of the tentacles of the Aboleth.
He was a turtle, and then like a rock thing, and then a white dragon, and then they flew through, and it was fun.
The man that you rescued is an older man. He probably like a farmer or a crafter. He's got rough years on him. You can tell. Growen's people. He's very Growen's people.
Yeah.
But he kind of stands up. He's really shaky. He looks kind of sick. Turns around and just vomits into the ocean. Thank you.
See, Xiphu's crumbled, right?
Yeah, it's still crumbling. It's 2 miles tall. Takes a long time to. It is. It has been crumbling for 10 minutes. And it is still falling in on itself. The base, you note that it's much lower on the horizon. And yeah, Oz, you kind of shake off the gore covering you because there is a lot of it.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop my concentration then.
Oz has disintegrated 2 Aboleths. Aboleths are CR 11 creatures. To a CR 5 party, they are basically a god. It's great.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Seraph, Lili, Eve, Zuma, the rest of you. You are now within Lili's Temple of the Gods, which is peaceful and quiet. And while you know that you will be ejected from this place into the ocean or into the ruins of Xiphu within 24 hours, you do also have the ability to teleport out, and there is no sense of urgency here. You are safe.
Should we go down the hole he in the floor?
It's up to you. Do you want to?
Can you cure us afterwards?
I think Ara is actually AFK right now. So speaking for Lili does have that capability easily.
Okay. And would the ointment cure us of that disease?
Yes.
Okay.
It is a magical disease, but it is also a disease that is curable specifically with anything that says it will cure disease.
Well,
It is basically like you know how Slade work?
Yeah.
Where if they claw you, you get disease.
Yeah.
Aboleths work very similarly, where if they hit you with their tentacle attack, you will eventually, within 24 hours, become one of those strange
okay.
kind of translucent creatures that you saw.
Okay, I think we should try and get all these people out, and then I say, for shits and giggles, going down the hole. Or we could just leave. Either works. I hear crickets.
Zuma, Seraph, what are you guys weighing in on?
Hmm.
I mean, I go wherever the party goes.
Yeah. Same.
Okay, that's fine.
Wait.
So Eve, it's probably your decision if you want to try to look for that or not.
Okay.
You do know that Jeff, being a skeleton, is pretty much immune to this as well.
I know, and so is Shadow Scale, because she's not humanoid.
That is correct. Although, yeah, we'll just say, you know, it's fine. You've talked to Lili enough. Lili pipes up and specifies that Aboleths only affect humanoids.
How many do you think we can get into a portal in 4 seconds? I mean, 6 seconds.
Good question.
Is all of them up and moving?
No, 3/4 of them are still paralyzed. You drug them in here.
3/4. And how much is that?
3/4 of 25 is what, like 17? It's 8. It's 19. So I was close.
18?
There are 19 people that are still technically 18, because yeah, there are 18 people that are still paralyzed.
Let me see how much ointment I have.
It would take 1 dose each, or 1 cast of Lesser Restoration, or any similar effect, because they are just diseased. That's all paralyzing them.
And if I knew. How much ointment? 5, so that is 5 times.
Yeah, if you have 5, it's 3 doses each, 15. So you have 15. Yeah. So there would be 3 that you can't get. You'd probably have to get Lili to cure them, but I think Lili has enough spell points to actually do that. Fairly certain, anyway.
Fairly certain. Could you check?
No, I mean, she has 34 spell points. I think Lesser Restoration costs, so yeah.
Okay.
It might cost 3, but either way.
I will cure -3. I will cure 12.
Okay, so that would leave 6 left, and whenever Ara gets back, you can ask Lili to cure them if you want. I do not spend players' resources for them, regardless of what happens. So, are you going out to check into the massive pond thing, or are you staying within?
Anybody want to come down with me?
Sure, I'm up for exploring.
That's why I saved 1 tube. We will be back. Don't touch this liquid.
Okay. As you exit, kind of diving into the liquid itself, this is pretty much where the Temple of the Gods is set up. It's just right outside of it. So the Bones of the Earth does cover you from the ceiling falling. It does not cover you from the tremors within, however, and it does make traversing the water somewhat difficult and maybe a little bit dangerous. As you're both, Zuma, you dive in, and Eve, you also dive in. You see in the water itself, it is murky and mucusy and kind of disgusting. Actually, it's a little weird, and you both actually do feel this disease take hold of you. You are both affected with an Aboleth's toxin at this point, which if you do not get cured within 24 hours, you will become scum. So at that point, you are dead, barring a wish spell. You can't even be resurrected.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah.
Who's dead?
No. You came back at the wrong time.
I came back to your character is dead, barring a wish spell. You fucking died.
No. You came back at the wrong time. Explaining what happens with Aboleth poison or Aboleth disease, basically.
Oh, okay, all right.
As a matter of fact, Stephen, they would. As you both kind of open the door, you hear this as just the sound around you shatters. I don't know if any of you have heard the sound barrier break before. It is an experience.
I have seen the Blue Angels.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I watched the transformer outside my house explode before, and that broke the. It is an experience, and your ears ring instantly, just like tinnitus. However, you kind of look around. You figure it's probably either the building collapsing, or maybe it could be something with Oz and Groen. They get up to some shenanigans. It's probably Oz and Groen. As you dive into the water, and then that's when you do contract the disease. So both of you are afflicted with Aboleth toxin, which means within 24 hours, or in 24 hours, your character will die, and you will not be resurrectable other than a wish spell.
As a note, Lili, I did leave 6 people to be cured. That needs to be cured.
All right, I can fix those people. Who died
How much
into
does
the water?
Zuma and Eve exited the Temple of the Gods, and they are diving within the pond, the big like lake, basically, that Sariel came out of. Eve and Zuma, as you swim through it.
And you thought this was a good idea?
I have ointment for it. I'm good.
Yeah,
I also have wishes.
yeah, Eve did make sure to keep ointment that cures disease for it, but yeah. As you both proceed through the water, it is murky, it is mucusy, it is hard to see in. Any perception checks are made at disadvantage here. Your speed is reduced by half, of course. Although for Zuma, I think you fucking zoop anyway, so.
I have a swim speed, so it doesn't matter for me.
What is your swim speed?
30.
Okay,
Remember,
cool.
I've got
So
Gifts of the Depths.
that's right, you have that invocation. So yeah, you do actually have a swim speed. Doesn't that affect your whole party?
I don't think so. I think it only
Is it
affects
the
me, but
invocation?
I can cast water breathing on him for 8 hours.
Yes. If you have that invocation, that affects everybody in your party for 8 hours.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not just yourself.
Okay.
Water breathing affects up to 8 people, and your party is actually 8 people if
Yeah.
you include Jeff and Shadow Scale.
Yeah.
So yeah, you and Zuma both have a swim speed of 30 feet, and you can breathe underwater. I was about requesting suffocation checks, but I guess I'm not now. The water is diseased, but that's fine. You are aware of its disease after talking to Lili a bit and understanding Aboleth some more. Proceeding down into the water, perception checks are still made at a disadvantage here because the water is very murky and basically impossible to see through. Everything is heavily obscured down here. As you proceed down towards the bottom, what are you looking for specifically?
For what he had down here, or if it was his like little pool that he just stayed in.
You see, as you proceed down, how long would you swim for underwater? Out of curiosity.
How long do you want to go for?
Yeah, Zuma, you can weigh in on this too.
I'm just following Eve, just giving her a hand, so whatever she wants to look for.
Okay, Eve, how long would you go for? Because you have now hit the 5-minute mark underwater, and you still don't see a bottom.
Yeah, I think I'd keep going.
Okay, you keep going. You eventually, 10 minutes of swimming downwards. I have like mild hiccups today, it's awful. After 10 minutes of swimming downward, you eventually find the bottom, which leads to a large underground tunnel, probably about 30 feet across in any direction. Though it is incongruous, it is also, on average, 30 feet across. And kind of proceeding slightly in towards that, you understand this probably leads to many other parts of Xiphu. This is probably how the Aboleths travel around, since they like to be in water. So you can keep swimming but you do anticipate that this might not lead
This is
anywhere.
This is the same thing that I dove into like before we fought, right? That and I
Yes.
communicated all of it back to him.
Yes, yeah, it is. It is.
So.
You did see the large tunnel at the bottom.
Mhm.
And as a water elemental, you could travel at triple their speed, so...
Of note, did I get affected by that stuff as a water elemental?
You do not. It only affects humanoids.
Hey! Oh.
Elementals are elementals, so you were not affected by it. You were immune to disease as an elemental, actually.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yep.
Get wrecked, nerds.
Zuma and Eve, you do both contract it immediately. Almost like you dive into the water and you can feel it take hold. You even start secreting out of your pores where you would normally sweat this thick mucus stuff within like 5 minutes. It's pretty gross and it feels awful.
Okay. I point back up or point down.
So are you asking if you go up or down?
Yeah.
Okay, Zuma, up or down?
Keep going.
Keep going? Okay,
Yeah.
you keep going down. Another 10 minutes passes. Lili, at this point, they've been gone for 20 minutes. You and Sarah are now taking care of the wounded here and the sick. Did you go ahead and cure the rest of them? There were 6 left, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you spend your lesser restoration points to go ahead and cure the rest of them. And there are all manner of people. It seems like there was a wide variety of individuals that were kind of kidnapped to turn into scum, and saving them. Many of them thank you. Some of them are in just immediate shock, and you have to kind of administer. I'm not a medic or an EMT. I don't know what kind of things you need to do to a shocked person, but they are in shock. So you kind of administer the medical necessities to those people. Some of them are coping almost immediately. They're like logicking it out. They're like, well, obviously this is bound to happen. Blah 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 blah. But ultimately, these are all people that belong to the many cities, city states that are located around the Sea of Falling Stars. There's no one kingdom here. There's just a lot of city states, so there's a pretty wide variety of individuals. There's Genasi, there's halflings, etc. And all of them seem fine. Like they'll recover. This is a traumatic experience. So mentally, maybe not, but physically, they will recover as individuals. As you kind of make sure that they have everything they need. I think your Temple of the Gods comes with servants, just like Mordenkainen's mansion does.
It indeed does.
Yeah, so you have like spiritual servants to assist you, and they do help take care of these people, feed, clothe them, water them, etc. 30 minutes go by. 40 minutes go by. Even Zuma, you've been down here for 40 minutes. That's fine, Steven. Go ahead. That's fine. Even Zuma, you've been down here for 30 minutes. 40 minutes, I'm sorry. And you do see this tunnel doesn't have necessarily an end. It branches out into several different individual tunnels, and they each lead to their own rooms, much the same as the pool that you jump into. These all lead to different pools in different rooms. After 40 minutes, you're fairly certain there's probably nothing for you to find here. You would end up exploring the entirety of Xiphu.
Let's head back
This
then.
isn't a lair or anything like that. This is a transit system. As you head back, you have been swimming for 40 minutes. It will take you 40 minutes to be back to come back. Oz and Groen took probably 10 minutes to reach the shores of Hillsfar because they are dragons and they feet around, which is super fast. However, you in the Temple of the Gods, you guys take quite a while to kind of rescue these survivors and ensure that they are okay. Seraph, I think your Valkyries are actually still with you, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? I thought they only lasted for like 10 minutes.
Do they last 10 minutes? I couldn't remember if it was an hour or 10 minutes.
That's
But
what
for
I meant to push, but it'll work.
that's fine. Angelic Radiance, Detect Evil and Good, Justicar. The Valkyries obey your commands.
Oh,
They don't have a time limit. It's just they're there as long as you are maintaining concentration as if on a spell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'd probably still be doing that.
Yeah, I will say I will just place an arbitrary time limit of 24 hours on them, so they disappear at the end of like a long rest.
All right.
Yeah. So, but until then, you basically have 2 permanent Valkyrie companions, effectively. And they do help. The Valkyries can cast like crazy ass spells. They are very useful when it comes to assisting, and so they do help some of these people recover. But you have managed to save all 25 individuals, and Groen and Oz managed to save the 1 individual within the dead pile of bodies. You're fairly confident you saved every living individual from the city of Xiphu as it disappeared and crumbled under its own weight. Coming back, Eve and Zuma, you do have to make some checks for me here. So I need you both to make a dexterity saving throw. Since you have water breathing active, it's just a straight roll, not disadvantage.
I like how they saved like 25 people. Oz and Groen only saved 1, but we did it with style.
You did it with style. That's important. That's important. Listen, you guys saved everybody. You 100%ed it. You would have only 99%ed it. Actually, 94% it. So, got all the collectibles. Oof. Right. 25 and 19. You both managed to narrowly avoid the disaster that occurs when part of the bones of the earth does collapse. Part of the floor collapses, and you both barely reach the surface of this lake as it begins spilling out into the ocean. And quickly grab onto the lip of the Temple of the Gods, draw yourself inwards, and bring yourselves to safety.
That shit is nasty. Ugh.
Yeah, you're both covered in mucus at this point.
It's an experience.
I cast Lesser Restoration on both of them.
Okay. Lesser Restoration on both of you.
I start prestidigitation, both me and Azuma.
Yeah,
Get this grip on me.
You know, 10 or 15 casts of that, and you're both clean of the mucus. But up to that point, you are effectively covered in Aboleth snot. It's pretty gross.
It reminds me of that Aboleth I touched in hell. It's.
Aboleths don't eat. They feed on memories, says Jeff as you enter.
Oh, hi, Jeff. Is everybody up and able to walk?
You see just like this line of people on either side of the mansion, all of them with like cups of hot tea in their hands and blankets around them. Some of them are like freaking the fuck out. Others are just, like perfectly calm. There's one woman who looks very like tough and almost businesslike, and she's dressed really appropriately and she looks like somebody you would see in council, like a high council or something. And she has this cup of tea, and she takes one sip of it. She looks at all of you. She goes, "I need to learn more about Aboleths. I want to kill them all."
I don't blame you there.
Well, have you come to the right temple?
And the right person, points to Lili.
She looks up at you. "I'm not a religious individual. Is this the temple of killing Aboleths?"
No, but she's an aberration killer.
Nope. It is a temple of killing Aboleths. Yep.
Great. And I'm now a religious individual. Let's fuck some shit up.
I take a very interested, what's the word?
Approach.
I take an interest in this individual.
Great.
And
okay.
Start teaching her about Aboleths.
Okay, great. You kind of talk with her. This seems to be kind of like her form of coping.
Really is kingdom follower.
and she does seem to look to you as maybe not a god, but definitely a mentor, an important figure, a priestess of significance. Priestess of death. Of Aboleth death, motherfuckers. But we will go ahead and it is almost 10:10. We will take a break here. So if you need to pee, bio, whatever you want to do, go ahead and take 10 minutes. We will meet back here in just a little bit.
Cool. I just got back.
I just watched Binging with
Unmute.
Badgers.
Okay,
Oh
I'm
man, I
done.
love binging. Anyway, so returning back to some D&D here. Let me go ahead and put some music back on. Over the next probably hour and a half, you watch Oz and Groen specifically, you watch from the docks of Hillsfar, the city of Xiphu crumble in on itself. I don't know how long shape change lasts. I think it's an hour.
I mean, I remember I dropped it to.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
To
So
not
yeah.
make people piss their pants again.
Wait. Did they just literally watch as like this temple emerges from the city?
Yeah, so I'm getting to that. As
Okay.
you watch the city of Xiphu crumble, you are left with a small dot on the horizon, which is growing. Your perception skill is decent, and Oz, your perception skill is quite good, and both of you kind of notice this is Lili's Temple of the Gods just floating in the middle of the air now. As the tower eventually breaks in on itself, it crashes against the temple, breaks upon the temple. The temple does not budge. The city, however, does, and eventually crumbles into the ocean, leaving only ruins on a floating plinth behind, probably of the 2-mile long or 2-mile tall tower that you saw before. Which it's 2 miles tall, which means it's probably anywhere from like 9,000 to 11,000 feet. It's probably a good like 3,000 or 4,000 across, and so there's still a considerable amount of Xiphu left. Like it's still bigger than most villages, but there is just this kind of massive floating plinth across the shoreline or across the skyline now, with some ruins of the tower above it, kind of sitting on top of it, and far above those, you do see this floating temple of the gods that Lili has created. Lili, I'm sorry, Eve and Zuma, as you return to this, you do occasionally peek outside of the temple and see that the Xiphu has crumbled around you. There is nothing. You are effectively floating in the air right now. Oz and Groen, you're approached by, after a moment, kind of dealing with some of the like quote unquote first responders, more or less, that are sent by like the Neverwinter Lyceum, the Lord's Alliance, multiple different kind of powerful organizations. You are eventually approached by the mayor of Hillsfar. Oz, this is a familiar individual to you. You happen to have assisted in this person's election, and as he approaches you, we cannot thank you enough for your contributions to our. You have proven valuable allies. Please tell us, what did you see inside? What nightmarish creature, what terrible fate had lent itself to our shores?
Not to scare you, but basically the end of the world.
It was a giant evil worm.
A lot of what you saw out here.
Yeah.
Not kind of solemnly. Both of you, like, Groen with your high insight and Oz with your kind of like knowledge of who this guy is. He is politicking right now. You get the sense that if this happened anywhere else, he wouldn't give a shit. But he is kind of putting on a show for his people, and I see. Such a terrible fate bestowed upon the peoples of Hillsfar. And he turns to his people. These two have saved us from a nightmare. And he bows to you. You are, of course, to be rewarded as heroes of Hillsfar. Tell me, is there anything that you wish, that you desire?
Can you give us a second?
Of course, yes, I can. His bearing is very fake.
Yeah. Oz, come here.
Yeah, bud.
Do we take it all for ourselves, or do we hand it off? Or
So this guy isn't going to actually do anything for us. He should.
yeah, I get that. Yeah.
I mean, I could have him removed from office if he doesn't give us what we want.
I'm gonna let that off to you. All right, you know me.
Yeah,
I'm just here to kill things. Yeah.
I mean, I did say remove.
To answer your question, we obviously had help, and we don't want to speak out of turn, and so just knowing, at least for me, knowing that the people are safe is the only reward that one could ask for. My compatriot here, though, I don't know if he would want anything.
I think we might want to wait for some of our friends.
You had more? Well, that is perfectly fine. He turns around. Oh, praise the heroes of Hillsfar! And you watch. There are several people at the docks where they're like just kind of in shock. Like there are dead bodies around. This is almost an inappropriate response, but some do start slowly clapping, and then it builds into this kind of uproar of applause as many people begin applauding you as you return from essentially saving the entire city's lives.
Hey,
some 1.2, 1.5 million people.
Statue, maybe a statue would be nice.
The mayor turns. He looks relieved. We can certainly arrange a statue. Yes, absolutely. What a brilliant idea! And he comes around. He puts his arm around your shoulder, and like you are, as that's perfect. He stops. He raises his hand to the heroes of Hillsfar, and they all the kind of uproar and applause and everything. There are, you notice, a number of people that are just kind of like looking at the carnage around them, like, should we be clapping right now? Like that's the general vibe you get.
No, you shouldn't be.
We will have a team on it, and you will have a statue erected within the next 3 days. I promise you.
Hey, why don't you worry about like helping these people before you worry about a statue?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And matter of fact, I'm gonna go like searching out some of the maybe younger children who kind of look alone and scared, and trying to console them a little bit.
Roll a perception check. Oof. Also, yeah, big fucking oof. The mayor, Oz, looks like you just stabbed him in the throat. Like he looks wounded.
Yeah. Fucking good.
Just imagine your average U.S. senator. That's the guy.
Yeah. Do you know who my U.S. senators are?
I don't want to talk about it. I live in Arkansas. We have Tom Cotton.
Let's
we have the
keep
one
politics out of this, please.
Anyways. Oh, you're so lucky. Anyway, so Canada has its own problems. We won't talk about that.
Yeah, COVID isn't one of them.
I won't talk about that. Anyways, so
Boys reunion tour.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have. Okay, listen. If we want to talk about Canadian problems, you guys do own Justin Bieber. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
take him back, please. Please take him back.
Also own Ryan Reynolds. So.
Okay, well then it kind of balances out, really. Anyway, so this guy is your average, your average Western politician. He is showboaty and kind of falls flat in the face of true adversity. And he kind of just goes silent after that and lets you guys do what you're doing. Growing, you do search the crowd. Excuse me. Woof. You do search the crowd. There aren't actually that many children. Hillsfar is a little bit like Florida in that it's mostly old people.
Well, if there's, I'm
but
just
you
looking
do
for people who look like super shell shocked.
Well, you do find a couple of children. God damn. There's like dead crustacean aliens around you. You do find a handful of individuals that needs comfort. Some of them are children. There's one old woman who is kneeling by what's presumably the corpse of her partner. This is a, for all of Mayor's showboating, this is a tragedy. There are hundreds of dead people on the docks right now. And while
I would like to enlist the collective to help with any way that they can help.
bizarrely, they materialize out of the crowd the second you start asking about them. They almost seem to be following you around at this point, and they seem to be quite good at it. As you do enlist the collective, eventually you do find one of your kind of main leaders. Yeah, very Forrest Gump. As you do find one of your main leaders, and they kind of start mobilizing some of the actual ground troops rather than the spies. You quickly get the collective to work on rebuilding the kind of shelters that need to be built. Many people are without homes right now because many people did live on the docks. Many merchants have been ruined financially and permanently, and the collective kind of approaches them and assists them in coping with this. And growing, you go around and assist people as well. While you can't assist, dozens and dozens of people, there are a number of people who are drastically affected by your actions. And it is, like I said, it is a tragedy of human life and terrible things. Yes.
How are we getting back?
I will get to you guys here in a minute. Okay. There are plenty of ways.
I told you my plan.
That is the little embodiment of the. I didn't think I was going to make it this far.
You were stuck there forever.
I will say, Eve, he was AFK when you said that.
Well, no, I said that at the very beginning.
Anyways, so between the collective, which you do have several dozen members here, Groen and Oz, you do go about, and the people see this, and while they may have applauded their mayor, they give you more respect. There was a certain respect that is afforded to applause. There is a different type of respect and a different level of respect that is afforded to silent assistance, as the people set about quickly assisting each other, and the community of Hillsfar, being already a tight-knit community. It's not a terribly large city compared to like Waterdeep or Neverwinter. It is a very tight-knit community focused on its individual members, and so these people start to come together and assist even members of the collective, who many of whom were citizens of Hillsfar, some of whom are still citizens of Hillsfar, come together and begin assisting in the cleanup, the aftermath of this tragedy. And the mayor is almost left shell-shocked himself as he watches this happen. He doesn't lend a hand. He doesn't assist in any function or capacity. He watches from the edge of one of the docks as he is ignored, and many of his subjects and citizens go about correcting the problems that he should be leading. I don't know if that's too on the nose or not, but we won't get into that. So Lili and Lili and the troops, Eve, Zuma, Seraph, you are in this Temple of the Gods. There are 25 other people. Eve has already discussed her plan to activate teleportation circle to get everybody back to Hillsfar. Lili, I think you know teleportation circle as well?
I do, yeah.
Between the two of you, you could definitely get all. There are 31 of you total. Between the two of you, it would take 2 teleportation circles each in order to get everybody back to Hillsfar. Not all of these people are from Hillsfar, but you don't have teleportation circles into the Genasi's city-state. So Hillsfar is probably the closest that you got.
I mean, if you gotta get home, we'll get you home. can't alternate our portals.
There's an Earth Genasi who doesn't speak common, speaks like a really thick accent of Ignan.
I bet I know it.
Yeah, you speak Primordial, don't you?
Yeah. She
Correct.
does, I think.
Yeah, if you speak Primordial, you can understand it. It's thick. Like it's like the difference between like British English and English. You can understand each other. There's just some things that are kind of lost in translation.
Oh, so like Australian versus American English.
Listen, I
I'm
know
imagining Geordie versus.
that is fair. That is fair. Yeah. Listen, I played EVE Online for 16 years. I know a lot of Australians. I can understand all of them way better than I can understand any of the British people that I know. That is not a dig at Brits. They just speak a different type of English than we do.
So do Australians.
When you start calling the top of cars bonnets, we have a problem. I'm just saying. Anyway, that is not a dig at my British friends.
Biscuits.
What about boots?
Oh, okay. All right. Listen,
I remember
there are
a
significant differences even between like Arkansas English and like New York English. Some of the New Yorkers I know I can't understand.
I mean, Southerners versus Northerners.
Not
One
even
of
just
us-
that.
One
I
of
have
us
a
here even calls things roofs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
One of my friends says rums. She says rums whenever she's talking about rooms. I'm like, there are two O's there. Pronounce them. Anyways, enunciate your fucking words.
No, so I have a friend who was dating a British person, and he kept calling cookies like Oreos biscuits.
Oh
And one day
god.
she just snapped. She's like, "Call my Oreo a biscuit one more time! I dare you!"
Easy.
So, and again, not a dig at British people at all. We just
No,
speak two
not at
different
all.
languages.
Yeah,
Totally
It's
a
so
dig at British
funny
people.
as shit.
Fight me.
ever.
No. One of my best friends, his name is Ben. He's British. He's from Norfolk, and sometimes, once in a blue moon, we have this breakdown of communication. I'm like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" He does the same thing though. Whenever I'm talking, because if I'm relaxed and not trying to enunciate, I actually do slip into a little bit of a southern accent sometimes, just a little bit like this.
No.
And
Oh, yep.
Yep, and he calls me out on it. Anyways,
To be fair, I unironically sometimes say Saigon, so
that's fair. Want to go off for a rip and have a turn? It's literally the most accurate thing.
If I were not dating Kayla for as long as I have been, I would be like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" But like, I know what that means, and I'm like, that is literally a foreign fucking language.
Oh, anyways, so that's about the difference between Primordial and Ignan. Anyway, whew. So there is a little bit of breakdown in communication, but you do manage to understand him. And from my not far from Hillsfar. If you can get me there, I can get back. I swear on me, Sir Migrants.
Of course, we can get everywhere where they need to be. Everyone where they need to be.
Yes, let's just go. I'm tired of being here. Just fucking take me to the loon.
The what?
Take me to the loon. Take me home.
All right.
So, between the two of you, you would have to cast Teleportation Circle twice each in order to get everybody through, because they do only last 6 seconds, which is not a significant amount of.
That is fine. I got 2 teleportation circles I can cast. I have to cast it, but I can cast.
I can also cast like 3.
Okay, cool. So it would only take 4 in total to get every single individual back to Hillsfar, including yourselves.
Keep it as a one long stream as fast as you can.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
rapidly casting the spell. Some people you do have, the reason you need 4 and not like 3 or 2 is because some people do take a while
Some are
to
wounded.
get through. They're in shock. You almost have to drag them into the portal. But you do manage to get everybody through. And the keepers of the Neverwinter Lyceum, having had you appear not terribly long ago and become ancient fucking dragons, probably,
Don't you mean
what was that?
Hillsfar?
I'm sorry, of the Hillsfar Lyceum. My bad. You came through here not even 2 hours ago, maybe 3, and exploded out the doors and became ancient white dragons. You are now coming through here with 25 individuals, and then another, 8 or so, including yourselves. I'm sorry, 6, including yourselves. So quite a few people. But given the circumstances, they seem to quickly respond. They do have some medics on hand. They have 5 priests on hand. Lili, they are lesser priests. You're familiar with this type of individual. They'll go to temples, they'll learn how to be a priest, and then they kind of settle for that like middle tier where they can cast they can cast up their like 3rd level spells. And then that's their career for the rest of their lives. There are 5 of those individuals here. And they do assist in this. They bring some of them are medics, 2 or 3 of them are actual doctors. And they do bring medicines and tea, honey, and comforting things. They take these people away. And there are triage tents set up throughout the city as it has been assaulted. And you are immediately assisted by these people. They don't hesitate. They just come in. One of the like librarians, this old crony mean motherfucker that's there every time, almost surprises you, because at this point he's actually helping like drag one of the shocked victims out. He takes him out and he applies some like some of this ointment to his brow and gives him some tea and is trying to like get him to come out of shock. And again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what goes into getting people to come out of shock, but I imagine it involves a little bit of comfort, and that's what this guy's doing. And he's always struck you as kind of this crony, mean person, but he shows some compassion. But ultimately, you do get these people. You do get them to Hillsfar, and one person approaches. I can't imagine what you've gone through. We saw you come through here a little while ago. We knew you were about to just tear the city apart. We didn't just think it was mean, we didn't think it would be literal.
Yeah, things that get in our way usually get torn apart.
I guess that's noted, but then one person kind of speaks up. Can I have water? Get this man some water. What the fuck are you standing around for? Get him water.
I create some food and water.
Okay, you create some food and water, and like a bunch of effectively tofu appears. I don't know if any of you guys have. I'm sure some of you have had tofu.
Nope.
Tofu doesn't taste like anything.
It so that it tastes like whatever the fuck people want.
Cool, great, okay, yeah. You press the digitation, it just creating like pie flavors.
Hey guys,
that's right.
It still has the fucking consistency of snot because it's tofu, but
I mean, yeah,
anyway,
but it tastes good.
It tastes pretty good. It's. I was about to say it's delicious now, but that's disgusting. These people do get the assistance that they need. And again, they might not recover permanently, but they will at least recover considerably from this event. This is traumatic. Many more people eventually rush in. There are guards that are called in, and the guards, just there for safety, obviously. But at this point, you don't see any aberrations. And one of you kind of peeks outside. There are none in the sky, and you see the crumbling ruins of Xiphu, which you hadn't really seen from a distance at this point up until now. And
Lili hadn't seen it at all. She was busy caring for people.
Yeah, exactly. So you couldn't really assess the damage. This 2 mile tower, it has now been reduced to maybe 500, 600 feet tall. It is just crumbled in on itself completely, and the ruins have fallen into the Sea of Fallen Stars.
Lili places her bow back in its case. because she has a case for this bow.
It has done its fucking work for the day.
I'm going to go to the dock, guys. You coming with?
Yeah, I would like to help as many people as I can.
Hop on
Yeah,
shadow scale.
Of course. I will run there.
I can just polymorph you.
You are actually faster than Shadowscale is.
Yeah, I'll see her. Zoop.
See ya.
So, he just disappears out of your view.
It would have been nice if he could have like carried one of us.
Seraph, do you need to be polymorphed, or you got your wings?
I mean, I can carry someone. I have wings.
You can carry Jeff. It'll be an experience for him.
Wings were first developed by bats in the late 500s.
Are you saying that's when bats evolved to have wings?
He looks directly at you. He goes, "That is forbidden knowledge." Sarah starts carrying him away.
Don't ask. He does weird shit. Shadowscale's still huge.
You're not even sure where his voice comes from because he doesn't have any muscles or like tendons or anything. He is literally just bone.
Clickety clack.
I am very proud of him.
Clickety-clack. So yeah, you all proceed towards the docks as you leave these 25 people in the care of the Hillsfar Lyceum, who has set up kind of like a triage tent with medics and priests and even mages. You know, they might not be trained in medicine, but maybe they can help somehow.
The saddle is nice and...
Is this where I can show you? Jeff looks up at you and he goes, "Shining, shimmering splendor." Anyway.
Oh no, I started.
No.
You do eventually make it to Fire Festival. Don't even bring that shit up. We can't talk about that here. You do eventually make it to the Hillsfar docks and find the collective in action, along with many of the residents of Hillsfar. The mayor is kind of sitting on the edge of the docks and he's just watching. He almost seems to be sulking, but you do see him on one of the these large 5 foot wide stumps, effectively, that hold some of the docks in place. He's just kind of sitting there, just watching.
I would like to approach him.
Okay, he approached. "Can I help you, citizen?"
More than a citizen, sorry.
Oh, I recognize you, actually. You're one of the heroes. What can I do?
Why are you
for
not doing anything?
They seem to have it handled. And he just looks out towards the collective.
You don't think that some kind of leadership would be welcome?
Kind of clicks his tongue and bites his lip for a minute. "I was put here to lower business taxes. I was paid to do a number of things. I don't think I was ever really equipped to handle a tragedy of this size."
That doesn't mean you can't.
Raises an eyebrow towards you. Roll a persuasion check.
I would have to agree on that. Being a citizen of the Hillsfar myself.
Of the hill. I like that. People say that here. I'm from the hill.
People.
At all? Okay.
Good
Okay,
song.
Does that mean I have advantage?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
That's 20.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He rolled a 5. He clicks his tongue, raises an eyebrow. "I suppose you're right.
Lili
I
puts
should-
the hand on his shoulder. We are... It is within each of us to rise up to the task, to lead when the situation and our position calls for it. And I believe in you.
That and
All right.
Hillsfar is a tight-knit community. All you have to do is just show
You don't have to
that
tell anybody this, but I'm not actually from here, but
I can tell.
you're right.
I can tell.
Okay. Everyone, and he starts clapping. You, and he points to one of the like guard members. "Can you please go summon the?" And he starts to kind of like direct some people, and he pulls one person towards him. He goes, "I'm terrible at this. Can you please start helping me direct these people? I don't know how to manage emergencies. Let's get this taken care of."
Um,
And
I whisper.
After a few moments,
I whisper to him, "Tell him all merchants that have lost their goods or anything else to contact me."
raises an eyebrow. What's your name?
Eve, this is my home, and I plan to help my home.
Are you assisting these merchants?
Yes, I will be replacing their wares.
Oh. You are far kinder than I. Far kinder than I. That's it. That's the end of the sentence. Very well, I will tell them. And you watch him kind of. He is. In fact, let's roll. Let's roll a charisma check for him. He has a +3 to charisma. He's a good liar, but that's about it. Not terrible. 15. I ought him in power. Can I take him out? You could potentially do that. However, during this time, you do watch him begin to it. He leads, not effectively, but he does lead, and with the help of the guard captains and the Lyceum and kind of the citizens themselves, he joins in. You're not confident that he's a good leader, but at least he is
trying,
making an attempt.
And helping.
He is making an attempt. Beyond like cutting business taxes and doing other things, he is kind of useless. But you know, he's two good hands. He helps pull people from wreckage, etc. And between all of you, you spend the rest of the day assisting these people. Eve, I will give you a price for this, and it is going to be considerable.
It's fine.
That's fine. Hillsfar is shell-shocked by this, as are many of the city-states around the Sea of Fallen Stars. But through the virtue of tight-knit communities and social bonds, and the things that, you know, not just humans, but all people are good at, and that is assisting each other, that is helping each other through crisis. You do start to get Hillsfar into a functional state. The death toll is considerable. It is massive. This is a tragedy on a scale that you are not sure Faerun has seen in hundreds. But you are confident that the people of Hillsfar will make it through this.
Yeah, I would like to. I'm gonna regret this. I would like to start casting Raise Dead on anyone who was a loved one.
Okay. Interesting.
And this is going to cost me a lot of money.
Well, you have the amounts that you have.
Give me you the amount.
I will say, here, I'll roll for it. This is always the best way to handle these situations.
Can I help with, like, trying to lower the cost?
I don't think you could.
I need specific cost GP diamonds.
Yeah, it's so it would be difficult to prevent that from being raised dead on individuals that were considered loved ones.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically anyone that isn't single or important.
Okay.
Before, if I'm seeing this happen, I would like to talk to Lili before this actually happens.
You would see probably the first one happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd go over to Lili. These people, I've been working with a couple of them, and they are slowly coming to terms with what is happening. And what has happened is obviously on a cataclysmic
world, almost in their world-ending scale, and to suddenly watch their closest family members die, to come to terms that they're dead, only to see them risen again in front of their face, I think would be something that might actually shatter minds.
Cohen, one does not simply come to terms with the death of a family member within hours. Not only that, it is within my power to help, and I'm going to help.
Don't try to stop her, as he was writing.
One can, speaking from experience. Two, I'm not saying that they have. I'm saying that having so much stuff happen in such a small amount of time will ruin most people.
I disagree.
Well, I don't. I hope that your judgment is correct.
Okay. All right. So rolling for it. Ooh.
Ooh, that sounded bad.
Overall, do you have the ability to resurrect 110 people?
Yes.
Holy fuck. Okay.
Well, I have the money.
Do you have the spell points?
Not today.
I don't think
no.
you do.
Not today, no.
Okay.
I will tomorrow.
So, kind of gathering up people. I will say that this process does take you into the night, and you do resurrect a few.
I have enough spell points to roll, basically, to res people, because it does take an hour for each spell cast.
Yeah.
So it will take me 100 plus hours.
You will not be successful in every one. Keep in mind, Raise Dead is a ritual in our campaigns.
Yeah.
So,
and I would ask for loved ones to assist in it.
To assist in this, I will say, can you roll me 2d100?
Yeah.
Okay. There are a lot of failures. Some of these people are far gone. Some of them are not resurrectable, period. Like, they don't have the capability of being resurrected. Some of them are much older, like Hillsfar has an older population, and some of them have already kind of accepted their fate.
Mm-hmm.
Those that haven't do fight. You don't manage to save all of them. There are a number that refuse to come back, or that you fail in bringing back. Returning from the dead is an ordeal, and assisting somebody in doing that is a powerful effect. You do save in the neighborhood of about 50 people over the course of the next day, 24 hours. Some of them don't really come back fully themselves, really. The trauma from this, like, you and your friends are adventurers. Death is a part of your everyday lives. For these people, some of them are fishermen. Some of them are like dock merchants that sell bracelets. They are not prepared for some of this. Others are absolutely prepared for this. They are ecstatic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Others are sitting there in silence for hours after being resurrected, confused as to what to even feel. And it has mixed results. The results are overall positive. Some not so much, but most people are okay with it. Some people are absolutely ecstatic. Most of the loved ones are very okay with it. It's just other people, some of them being brought back from the dead, with Hillsfar being a fairly religious city, some of them are downright angry. And then realize that they've made that choice for themselves, as they could have refused. And you were not confident that all of them will be accepting of this choice, but the majority probably are. Since they can refuse. You still don't bring back even the majority of people. The majority would be 55. You only manage to save like 49, 50. But you do save a number of people. And most of the loved ones are very much, as these wounds are fresh, most of them are very much thankful for this. Thankful for, in some cases, the next, maybe only a few more years with their loved one. In other cases, they're young. Some of them are children. Some might be 20 years old. Some might be 10 years old. And you save a number of them, and they are thankful. Some of them, like the especially young ones, don't really even realize what's going on at this point. They're like, well, that was weird. That was very strange. But a large number of the older ones are kind of like, well, I suppose a few more years won't hurt.
Especially if it's with your loved one.
So it is a mixed bag, but I think we can all say that is a mixed bag for the living in general, anyways.
Of note, I would be trying to work with the families whose folks didn't come back.
Yeah, there are a large number of those. 60 plus people that Lili has tried to revive don't come back. And yeah, go ahead.
Oz would be comforting the ones who did come back, since he has quite a lot of experience with coming back from the dead.
It is, from experience, it is a bizarre experience.
Yep.
Says the person who just instantly comes back to life.
It's still a little bit of a bit of a bizarre experience. One moment you're dead, the next moment you're alive. It's a little bit of a switch. You get some mental whiplash from that.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
But you Oz, you help those people kind of cope with the fact that they ultimately decided to come back. Though those decisions can be, you can decide to do something and still be like, well, was this the correct thing to do? Especially in a highly religious town, a city as Hillsfar. Grow, you help some of those people who their loved ones either weren't able to come back or who decided not to. You don't actually know when that is. Some of them is very obviously, if they don't have a body left, they couldn't come back with raised dead. Some do have just a complete body that they just died from very mundane wounds, and they probably decided not to come back. Some of them maybe failed, but others decided not to. So you kind of spend the next 2 days kind of helping, and the rest you all spend some time in Hillsfar assisting these people. Seraph, you're Valkyries. Valkyrie yourself. There is one thing that Valkyries really do very well, and that's guiding the dead. But also sometimes you have to guide the living a little bit too, and helping people manage is definitely right up y'all's alley. And over the next couple of days, you guys manage to get Hillsfar in at least a functional shape. Not a perfect shape, not a good shape, but at least a functional shape, as they have lost many lives. And an entire sea of falling stars. You can't even imagine how many lives have been lost. This is monstrous. And for what? A dead baby god? That's it? Yeah, imagine Lili's probably kind of distraught whenever somebody refuses or whenever she fails. There are a couple of failures where they want to come back and she fails to bring that soul back into the context of reality. It can be difficult. It can be hard, but you guys manage it.
Fuck.
And eventually, Hillsfar is restored after a couple of days. Say you guys probably spend like 3 days assisting people in rebuilding. The collect very instrumental in this. Zuma, through your some of your mages, many people from Thunder's Reach render aid to Hillsfar. Some Valkyries come from Asgard, and it's not just Hillsfar either. It's the surrounding city-states that are assisted through your efforts. You can't fix everything. You are a small blip on the map. Even with your large numbers of the collective and of Thunder's Reach's military and the Valkyries, you are still a small blip on the map compared to the populated city-states. But you do assist in getting things orderly and functioning again to where people can finally kind of start coping with what the fuck just happened, with the ruins of Xiphu still hanging just above the Sea of Fallen Stars, just on the horizon, visible from every single surface, from every single shore of the Sea of Fallen Stars. You do not find another aberration for several days. There's not one in sight. You are confident they have been returned to whence they came. Remove the mayor from power. Okay. Hey Oz, you actually have let me see if I can find it. I might have removed these for now because I was still working on them. Yeah, looks like I was still working on them. Southern. Oh yeah, Orgs and Allies. Here you go. Oz, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in your journal, buddy. Let's see. This isn't super complete. These are kind of like testing and kind of loose. But you happen to have a sheet in your journal now, Oz. It should be under Orgs and Allies, and it should be called the Collective Spies. Can you open up that sheet for me? And I just want you to go ahead and make you can opt to have him assassinated if you'd like. They are very good at that. But you can also just make a general intelligence check for me if you'd like. From that sheet, of course. And if you want to have him assassinated, roll the assassinate attack. Oh fuck. Okay. Over the next 3 days, over the next 72 hours, the mayor seems to disappear. No one really knows where he went, but he has vanished. And while the power vacuum isn't extreme, there is a small power vacuum for a short period of Oz, roll me an intelligence check as well.
Off of that sheet or off of my sheet?
Off of that sheet, I'm sorry. You consistently receive reports of resistance from some of the more shadowy coalitions and organizations around here. There's not really like organizations, quote unquote, that like run this place or anything, but there are a collection of rich business individuals that are interested in the politics of Hillsfar. And your organization does kind of combat that for a time. However, you do overcome them. And eventually,
how many more assassination rolls do I need?
With a 15 on your intelligence, through a war of information, you eventually bring after 3 days of kind of going back and forth, you do eventually bring kind of a parlay between yourself and the business owner. And a number of them have at this point kind of jumped ship. They are done with this place, and so it is weakened the kind of coalition that they have formed pretty drastically. And you do find the tiefling that you had spoken to once long ago about installing this new mayor, in fact, at the head of this kind of coalition. And between the two of you negotiate out a better deal than what was originally negotiated. And you find that you can kind of install a mayor of your choice. Do you want what personality type of a mayor do you want in Hillsfar?
Okay, so
Eve would totally be a good mayor. Just saying. I'm
No,
kidding.
hold on, because I was actually thinking about that a little bit.
Oh
God
God.
damn it.
Because it needs to be somebody. I feel like it needs to be somebody from Hillsfar
Mm-hmm.
who cares about Hillsfar.
But who also cares about us?
I mean, I'll
Yes, who
help
also cares
Oz.
about Oz.
But
and
if
it's the
Oz,
last part that concerns me.
hey, I will help, but you need to be 100% honest with me. And it doesn't fall back on me. It's the same rules that I have with Sir Smash. If he goes and does something evil, he better make sure he doesn't fall back on me or he dies. Because I am no pawn. I'm not taking the ball.
See, I have no I don't need to control the politics of Hillsfar.
She'll let you do whatever. Just help. Leverage things. Keep it stable.
Ultimately, this is Oz's decision.
Yep.
It's his organization.
What if Oz puts Eve's mom in charge?
She's moved to Waterdeep.
She's in Waterdeep, but
So she's like, you know.
She left because
okay.
of the taxes.
let me see. That is
Hold
a
on.
5.
Nope, can't do that. I was gonna make a joke, but it would have brought politics into things.
I love political jokes. I don't think YouTube does, though. Or Twitch.
I don't think so either.
Hassan Abi streams on Twitch. Twitch doesn't care about politics.
Okay, great.
Okay, so I need somebody like Eve that isn't actually Eve, because Eve is actually so adventuring.
Okay.
Eve could
Ye-
literally put a placeholder.
As you approach her mother, you can roll a persuasion check from your sheet to try to persuade her mother to come back and be the mayor of Hillsfar.
Alright. Nope, not that one.
15.
That terrible.
You approach her in Waterdeep during this probably like the third day. Lili, this would be your final day of bringing people back and assisting loved ones as well as growing. And you approach Lenore in Waterdeep, and aren't she one of Eve's friends? It's so nice to meet you. And as you discuss this with her, she takes some time. I could do this, but understand. I'm not going to hurt the people of Hills. I don't want to hurt them. I want to lead them and care for them. I want to be their mother.
Yes. That's exactly what we want.
Thinks for a minute. Looks around at her shop. My days are not over, I suppose. I'll do it.
I can have my people move your shop.
She looks around at her shop again. Don't touch me. But yes, I will do that. And
I mean, they could literally just pick up and move the shop.
she kind of like furrows her brows, like, is that how that works? I'll have to figure some things out, but I'll do it. But I am not anyone's pawn, and she like puts her finger in your face.
Yes, I know. Yeah, we get it. You're just like your daughter. We get it.
No, my daughter is just like
Great.
me.
She said, my daughter is just like me. Maybe a little more snarky. She needs a cooler head on her shoulders, but I'll do it.
Perfect.
And over the several days, Lenore Duskmeadow is installed as the new mayor of Hillsfar. You guys assist in the rebuilding of Hillsfar, and eventually it is not fixed, but functional, and the areas around it quickly begin receiving assistance from Hillsfar. It is the largest city-state here, with a population of like 1.2 million, like that. So the Genasi Kingdom to the south, and the multiple different city-states to the north and to the east managed to receive assistance from all of you from this tragedy, and you think you have brought it to heal. The Midnight Order does make an appearance as well, though they are working in the shadows. They do assist heavily in this. They kind of work side by side with the collective, not necessarily working for the collective, but also it's kind of this weird relationship where they do kind of take orders from like the higher ups in the collective. And it's a very like Red Cross situation, where multiple emergency management kind of things are happening at once. And eventually Triss does join all of you in kind of bringing the city, the entire region, back to some kind of stability after the destruction of Xiphu. She approaches all of you one day as you're finally resting. Some of you haven't slept in probably days.
And Eva's just reading the journal that she got.
And as you're reading that journal, you do note the Aboleth sovereignty didn't like Azakiel. They weren't working with him anymore, actually. Ever since the dissolution of negotiations within Kundrakar, they seem to have almost been adversarial towards Azakiel. In fact, the Mage's diary, Desiree's diary that you're reading right now, actually notes several instances where Sariel hindered Azakiel. That doesn't mean that Sariel was a good guy, though. Sariel's goals were definitely on the maybe not goals, but methods were on the more sinister side, as Sariel was very hell-bent on sacrificing upwards of 1 million individuals to this Atropol to bring it to fruition.
Or just us, us being batteries.
You were absolutely a part of it. You are mentioned several times within the journal, and not just you. Another individual is consistently mentioned as being a consistent source of power, and that is Luce. However, thwarting their plans, you know that none of this came to full fruition. You do know that the Aboleth sovereignty was in league with the Kraken Society, and that Sariel and Ruthermar were viewed as equals to each other. They kind of worked in tandem, and that the Kraken Society is working on their own project to hinder Azakiel. Reading the journal, you can tell that Desiree does not approve of the Kraken Society's methods. And if she doesn't approve of those methods, but she approves of the Atropol methods, you can kind of interpret that they might not be the best decisions made.
I think your father is planning something much worse than an undead god baby. I say this as I read.
It speaks of the Deep One many times in this journal.
Oh god, please.
Does she read the part about Luce?
Yeah, I do. Luce is mentioned in here as well.
Oof.
And it looks like they're trying to bring out an entity they call the Deep One. I don't want to find out what that is.
Crassus is what it's referenced as many different times. Not quite Ukatoa.
Can you
not quite that. No, not quite Ukatoa, but very of a very similar vibe, Jordan. Kind of this deep sea entity of some kind.
Crassus. Maybe.
Crassus. Yeah. So the prefix typically refers to kind of darkness or dread, and Crassus typically refers to abominations. So,
Us.
It's a kaiju movie.
I'm imagining Hydroid Crisis.
I'm thinking of Kraken.
Kind of. I mean, they are called the Kraken Society.
Yes.
I need to talk to you.
Okay.
I would pull Oz aside somewhere where no one can overhear.
Okay.
I may have I captured Luz.
When?
God, when would it have been? Like a week ago? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, about that.
Long. Yeah.
Week, maybe 2 ago.
Where is he?
Within a pocket dimension, I was trying to cleanse him.
Dun dun dun.
Oz doesn't know how to respond.
I think he's debating on anger or.
I stabbed
Oz
Lili.
is visibly angry.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh god.
don't know what went on between you two, but I knew Luz was corrupted, and if you two were going to fight it out, then I wanted him to be himself.
You had no right to interfere in this. You did not even talk to me about this.
No, you're right.
And you knew that I was I was trying to help Luz. Whether that meant killing him or fighting whatever was corrupting him, we could have been working together. No secrets, Lili, that's what we said.
Which is why I'm telling you.
But you still kept this from me.
Yeah.
Have you made any progress towards reversing what's wrong with them?
Good question, Rin. I did cast Channel Divinity, or not Channel Divinity, Divine Intervention.
You did. Did you roll for that?
I did not. I don't have to.
That's right.
Level 20 cleric.
Level 20 cleric.
Okay.
Gotta see how this plays out.
Yeah, because Fenriel
Due
is
to
a...
unforeseen events, the session is now over.
I mean, you're not wrong. It is 11:30. Roll a d100 for me. Just roll a d100.
All right, I guess 100.
Okay. You did cast Divine Intervention. And you do find Saloon had given you the answer. I will try. The entity possessing him is more powerful than I. But
Money?
I can attempt. And at moments into this conversation, you do find that Saloon. I have overwhelmed him for now, though it has taken all of my energy. Your friend was possessed by a creature I cannot comprehend myself. A being known as Nyarlathotep.
Oh
And that is where we're in the session.
Oh no!
No.
Should we
Oh
name-
no!
What is that again?
Is that
Oh,
is
no.
that information that Lili just got, or she had that information before?
Literally while you're having a conversation.
Oh.
So
Oh, no.
Seraph, you weren't here quite for this. You did watch Oz stab Tim in the back, though. Or Ted, I'm sorry. So you do know a little bit
Still
about
upset
this.
about that.
Nair was part of the compact that sealed Azakilo A, and Nair was kind of this fledgling god that no one really knew a ton about, but he was gaining power very quickly. He was literally a deity already. He wasn't like a demigod or something.
I knew I should have killed her.
The monk that they freed early on, like level 5 or 6 or something like that, named Sympactinol, was a holy
To?
yes, was
Yeah, I
a
gotta get that
holy
back.
champion of Nyarlathotep, and it seems that maybe the identity of Fenriel and Nyarlathotep are one in the same.
Yeah, Lili shares that with Oz.
Oz puts his mask back on.
No! Oh, we just spoke that.
All right, we'll end the session there.
Damn.